think I broke Facebook, so we'll see how this goes. I'm waiting for comments to appear. This is vlog day 8. Feeling very good. Got some biking in today, and meaning cycling. So did about, I would say, 45 minutes of that. 2 sauna sessions and a lot of riding in between. So I will answer questions as soon as they pop up. I'm more tired than I am drunk, so we'll see how questions come together. We have 132, 171 people and more coming together. So here we go. Hello, John in Orlando. What's going on, guys? Throw any questions my way, and I'll do my best to answer the ones that are answerable. Better chin angle. Not like that. I'm not sure what you're looking for. What did I have for breakfast? I had a can of Wild Planet sardines and a handful of macadamia nuts. Favorite anime is Spirited Away by Miyazaki Hayao. Alright. Do I own any patents? No, I do not. I don't think I do. What's the new book about? The new book is about my favorite lessons and tools from podcast guests, including a lot of lessons and tools that I learned from them outside of the podcast. Getting this question every time I do a Q&A. Best way to introduce an exotic fruit in the U.S. Read 22 Immutable Laws of Marketing and read the chapter on category, among other things, and then read Blue Ocean Strategy. What's my bench press? I would say non-existent. I don't know. I don't do much benching. What's my current nighttime drink? Well, I just had, I think it was Gavi white wine, 1 glass over dinner. How do I become as structured as you? I think you're overestimating how structured I am. Read, or just Google Tim Ferriss, neurotic. Let's see. Is it harder to do this vlog when you're tired and drinking than when you do it sober? Maybe, but the only time I really want to do this is late at night. So I'm either tired and or drinking. When I get ideas meditating, do I stop and write them down? I do not stop and write them down. I feel like the good stuff will stick if it is truly good. Best thing to read in the AM for me is philosophy, some type of philosophy, whether that is considered philosophy or not. So it could be Seneca, it could be Goethe, it could be aphorisms or maxims of some type, but that tends to be what I read. Let's see. Favorite book translated from another tongue? Well, I've read quite a few of those. The first one that comes to mind is Baron in the Trees by Italo Calvino, which I believe was translated from Italian. Okay, release date of the new book should be Christmas. So around the end of the year, beginning of December, middle of December. Longest period of time that I've stayed on the ketogenic diet, probably 6 months. Chuck Liddell on the podcast, that could be fun. I've met Chuck before. He has a tiny little chihuahua, very nice guy. Am I done selling the BS, that coffee loaded with mycotoxins? You're a funny one. That's not me. I don't sell coffee. I am an investor in Blue Bottle, though. You should try that out. Okay. Can't sleep. Any tips? Yes. If you have the budget, consider a chili pad. If you want to try low tech first, you could try 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar and 1 tablespoon of raw honey melted into and mixed into hot water. That is a tip from Seth Roberts. May he rest in peace. Let's see. Hold on. Will I get any fighters for my podcast? Yeah, I'd love to. If you have any nominations, let me know. I was trying to approach Ronda Rousey maybe a year ago, something like that, but she's obviously in demand by the media. who would you recommend? If I could only have one fighter on the podcast, I had been thinking about going after maybe Sugar Ray Leonard. He's a fascinating guy. I've been on his podcast. So let me know who you would nominate. Does whiskey affect your sleep versus wine? Uh, I can't delineate the difference, but I do have a much bigger headache the next day if I have whiskey. Do I drink caffeinated drinks? Yes. Favorite shoes for travel are the, well, I have black Vans gum sole slip-ons, which I like. They can sneak by for business casual or even a fancy dinner, but they're extremely comfortable and have a zero drop. So flat sole, in other words. Okay. Why do I look so different from my photo? I don't know. You tell me. I mean, maybe it's an older photo. I have no idea which photo you're looking at. Maybe it's because I need to shave my head. Maybe it's because you're looking at something 10 years old. I don't know. I think pretty much what you see is what you get. Will I come to Germany in 2017? I would love to. Ich liebe Deutschland. I think it's a fun spot. Paris, SF, or New York? Well, why or? I love all three. So, um, yeah, I was in Paris for a month last month. I'm in New York right now, and I'm in San Francisco in probably a month's time. So, as a night owl, what time do I rise in the morning? Around 9, between 9 and 9:30 right now. Can you start taking BHB, beta hydroxybutyrate? Well, you could take ketocana, you could take Kagenics, you could take any of the products, the exogenous ketones that Dom D'Agostino has talked about in his last 2 or 3 podcasts with me. So I would listen to those. Okay, this is a great question. Kimberly, is it common on slow carb to lose inches but no actual pounds? Yes, it's very common, especially for women, because you're increasing your protein intake. So what happens very frequently is you're recomposing the body, meaning you're losing body fat, but you're gaining muscle, which is a good thing. And therefore, you're losing circumference, but you're adding the muscle mass. And therefore, the scale won't move. So it's a very good observation of yours. Very, very common. So that is why I tend to recommend people track body fat analysis in some fashion, body composition, because that is going to give you a more meaningful and less not deceitful, potentially confusing metric to use for progress. Okay. Any advice for new bloggers? Yes. Read my blog post on how to build a high traffic blog without killing yourself. Let's see. Any tips for meditating for beginners? Erica, yeah, I would try Headspace. 10 and 10. Or 10 for 10, something like that. Moving to Korea, what Korean foods do you know of that are slow carb? Kimchi. There you go. Alright. Looking for questions that I can answer. There are a lot of questions that I can't answer. People ask stuff that would require a 2-hour dissertation, and I don't have the brain power or the time for that right now. All right. When you start a new practice, do you just jump right in, or do you research best practices and have a thorough knowledge before you produce, i.e. with podcasting? Did you just begin to make tweaks along the way, or did you do extensive research on how to have a successful podcast? I did extensive research. That's just my MO. I always look at what's out there. I interview people. I call. I read. I do everything I can to have as much data as possible. And then I jump in and I tweak as I go. Do I take pre-workout supplements? Yeah. The only thing I take right now is creatine, ubiquinol, and branched chain amino acids. Small amount, like 3 to 4 grams probably total. Am I watching the Olympics? Yes, I am. I was just watching Olympic weightlifting, judo, and gymnastics on 2 screens. George St. Pierre, yeah, he'd be a good fighter to have on for sure. Uh, Uriah Faber, Brain Octane. What are my thoughts on Brain Octane by Bulletproof? I think Brain Octane is caprylic acid, C8. So I think caprylic acid is very helpful if you're trying to generate ketones, for instance. Uh, and I think I do have some Brain Octane at home. But, caprylic acid is caprylic acid, as far as I can tell. Although, so get the source that's convenient for you. Um, Conor McGregor could be good. Any chance I'm headed to Chicago on my book tour? Well, I've never done a book tour, so what I've been considering doing is getting some big RV and driving around the country, meeting everybody, just for the hell of it, because I haven't done it and I want to see more of the U.S. Worst experience I've had with Molly, Eduardo, probably when I woke up at 4 in the morning about 6 months ago to the most foul smell and sounds imaginable, and turn on the light at 4 in the morning and there was shit everywhere, all over the floors, all over the walls. It was just an unbelievable disaster. And then I had to do hazmat duty for an hour and a half before trying to go back to bed. I'd say that's the first thing that comes to mind. What would I suggest for anxiety? I would suggest meditation. I would suggest less caffeine, and I would suggest talking to your doctor about low-dose lithium. Almost on cue, Molly wandered off in a corner. I was like, oh, you're going to give me a vengeance shit in the corner just for me talking about you, or what? Elon Musk would be great to have on the podcast, of course. Have I ever trained in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu? Yes, I have. Dave Camarillo is my primary instructor. Post a picture of my bookshelf. I have a lot of bookshelves here, so at some point maybe I'll do that. Let's see. Do I cut my own hair? Yes, frequently. If I have somebody else who can look at it. This is like grown out. I need to cut this off. It looks ridiculous. All right. Buenos Aires next week for a month. Advice, yes. Read blog post I put up called How to Live Like a Rock Star or Tango Star, I think, in Buenos Aires. Google that. Okay. Things I do for language maintaining. Next to nothing. I don't try to maintain all my languages. It would be a full-time job. I just resurrect them when I need them. Am I going to Burning Man? I don't think so. What would I gift a billionaire? Something thoughtful, because all of their friends with money buy stuff with money. So it could be anything handmade, anything handwritten. Probably. That's what I would do. Or a very, very short book. Let's see. Looking for questions, guys. I'm going to do maybe 2 or 3 more, and then I'm out of here. Metal or rock? Metal. When will Tony Robbins be back on the podcast? Next week. Do I for internship opportunities? Not at the moment. ARP wave therapy, don't know what it is. How do I feel about stevia? I avoid all sweeteners when possible because I think they provoke an insulin response or have an impact on hypothalamus and how it regulates a number of things. Do I have an Adam's apple? I think so. I don't know. Maybe I just have a fat neck. You can't see it. Best overall leg workout at home. Well, you could certainly do Cossack squats and pistols with kettlebell. You can get pretty jacked doing just that for sure. Thanks, Ernie. Yeah, I was pretty stoked about my lucky bullseye. Could I speak louder, please? Can you guys not hear me? It's completely dead silent here. Do I read all these comments or does someone do it for me? I'm reading, but as quickly as I can, which may not be fast. Do I drink coffee? I'm trying not to right now. What books do I recommend for scratching your own itch or learning to do that? Um, there's a book called Small Giants by Bo Burlingham that I think is very much worth checking out. How do I stop myself from becoming lazy? Who says I'm not lazy? uh, Best tea shops in SF. There's some good ones in SF and in Berkeley, I want to say, or Oakland. Tivana. Wait, no, Tiance, like seance. Tiance is one I've heard of. But Samovar in the city, I will sometimes go hang out there. And how do I reward or motivate people who work for me? I don't know. Let's find out. Hi, researcher. Um, I don't know. Barrel sauna once or twice a day. Chocolate. What's that? Wine. Let's see. What else? You get to dodge arrows. I don't shoot them at him. Yeah, he gets to play with my dog Molly. There are a lot of fringe benefits. All right, guys, that's it. I have to stop this and get back to work. All right, have a good night, and I will talk to you probably tomorrow, looking even more tired than I do right now.
Thanks so much for watching, guys, and be sure to consider signing up for my email newsletter by clicking on email newsletter, because I share private Q&As, exclusive content, awesome things like 5 Bullet Fridays, which is the 5 coolest things I've discovered in a given week, exclusively via email. And that's for the diehard, that's for the people who really want the main line of usefulness and how-to, and to really ride along with me as I learn and discover the most useful things that I find. So check it out, email newsletter, click on it, and please let me know what you would like more of in terms of video, in terms of audio. I will try to make it for you. So let me know in the comments, and thank you again for watching.